Hey guys, so today's video is going to be slightly different. As you already can tell, it's going to be another Sailor Moon drawing, but the actual difference that is occurring in this video, and you guys have probably spotted it at the very beginning of this video to right now, is the fact that I'm speaking. You're hearing my voice in this video. The main reason why I chose to do one of these kind of voiceover videos that you would probably see from other artists on YouTube is that I wanted to put out my discussion, my thoughts on the upcoming season of Sailor Moon Crystal, Season 4, aka the Dream Arc. And that's why in this video I decided to put together a drawing of Super Sailor Chibi Moon with Pegasus, since the two are pretty much the big icons of the season. I usually tend to do these kind of videos, these kind of discussions with my friend Jason on my second channel where we do reactions, especially to Sailor Moon Crystal. But with our scheduling, it's been pretty hard for us to get together since now he's a full-time employee and I work at 2 jobs part-time, so it's been pretty busy. But hopefully in the future we can still meet up and still do a discussion on our second channel. Before getting on with the discussion of the season, I also would like to make an apology for you guys. I was supposed to upload this video about a couple weeks ago, but due to my scheduling, but mostly, in honesty, mostly I was being lazy. I kept putting this video to the side, telling myself I'll get to it. So now I'm regretting it, having it being this long till I finally got to upload it. So I do apologize for that, but it's finally here, and I hope you guys enjoy this discussion, this video, and without further ado, let's get on with the discussion. So to have everyone caught up with what's going to be happening with Sailor Moon is that about a month ago, I would say, would you guys say about a month ago, that we got an announcement, somewhat update of how the 4th season of Sailor Moon Crystal is going to be. And it had the Sailor Moon community, what I've seen on social media, kind of just spread into different groups, because for those who don't know how Sailor Moon Crystal Season 4 is going to be aired as, if it's going to be aired, it's going to be completely different from the past seasons, because in the first 3 seasons they were run in episodes of 30 minutes, a typical episode, whereas the Dream Arc will be aired as a 2-part movie. Well, then again, that's where I got wrong. I don't know if it will be aired, but yes, it will be a 2-part movie. With this update, what I've seen on social media, this had quite a bit of the Sailor Moon community just split into different groups. I've seen people in one group saying this is a terrible, terrible idea. Like, what is Toei Animation thinking of? We had one group, of course, saying, might not be a bad idea. It'll probably be great. They probably have something that they will surprise us with. And then, of course, we have some groups who aren't sure about it, and then who are still being like, I don't know, I don't agree with the people who say it's a terrible idea, I don't agree with the people who say that it's a great idea. And then of course there's the other people of the community who say, honestly, I don't care, I'm just glad that Sailor Moon's returning. For me, where I stand in it, when I first heard about it, I was at first with the side of the community saying, what is Toei Animation thinking? This is not going to be a good idea, because how I looked at it was that it just feels off, because you had the past 3 seasons that were episodes, and now you have the 4th season, which also, just a note, is that it's not the last season, because we have one more season to go, which is the Stars arc. So with that, it had me like, okay, this seems kind of off. I mean, it's a surprise, but not what I was expecting. And then as later on, as time went by, I was thinking about it, and I finally got to the point where I'm now 50-50 with it. I'm at 50% of still not thinking of it as a good idea, and still thinking it might not be a bad idea. It might work. But still, again, it's still a shocker that they would put it into a 2-part movie. And I, of course, will explain about why on both sides I think of my opinions are, with my opinions of thinking it might not work, and also especially the side of thinking, it will work. I think it will pull through. Just letting you guys know that at this point here, if you guys disagree with what I'm thinking of my opinions are, that is totally okay. If you guys leave in comments saying, I have to disagree, maybe it's this way, like, it could be this, that's totally fine, because this video is about my opinions. You guys have your own opinions, and that's totally cool. So, starting with the idea of thinking that why the idea of it being into a two-part movie won't work, it's just, for me personally, it just falls out of balance. And like I've mentioned before, and I do apologize if I'm repeating myself, but where we had the last 3 seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal into episodes, half-an-hour episodes, and then all of a sudden you have the 4th season being a 2-part movie. Because, like I've mentioned before, that this isn't the last season. We have 1 more season to go, and that's the Stars arc. And I don't know how they're gonna play through with that season. I don't know if they're going to make it into a movie or 2-part movie. Because also, for those who don't know, is that the Stars arc is the shortest season, if I'm corrected, the shortest arc. So I don't know if it'll be made into a 2-part movie or just a 1 movie, or if it's just gonna go back to being into episodes. If it goes back into episodes, then to me personally, it's gonna fall out of balance. Because then I'll be like, so you got the first 3 seasons that are made into episodes, and then you have the 4th season made into a 2-part movie, and then you have the 5th and final season go back into episodes. Like, okay, I mean, interesting, but why is that? Because how I'm looking at the idea of a 2-part movie is, if I was working with Toei Animation, or if I was in charge of it, I would have told them, how about this, make season 4 into episodes, and if you still have the movie idea, make the final season into the movie. Because how I look at it, I want to make sure that the final season just goes out with a bang and just makes the fans just remember it, because that's how I would look at it. Like, that's how I would think would actually work out than so far what their idea is. That's my opinion. If I was in charge of working on Sailor Moon and they told me, well, then again, I may not have the choice, but if I was given them the choice of how it was set out, then I would tell them, listen, 4th season stays into episodes, but the final season, make it into a movie. Or I would have told them, keep it into episodes. But if I wanted to make sure that the season would go out, like just make people look at it and look back saying, I remember the final season, they went all out and they made sure that we remembered it. That's how I looked at it, and I would make it to the final season into a movie. That's how I would look at it. Which then kind of brings me to the side of where I think that the 2-part movie for Sailor Moon might be a good idea. Though what I'm thinking of it is, I'm just thinking of it more for the 5th season, because still right now I'm still thinking having it for the 4th season, still kind of off, but I'll try and bear with it. So the reason why I think that for the 2-part movie will work is that the production will have a higher budget. They'll have a more extended time to work on it, because that's the one thing I remember that a lot of fans, including myself and Jason, where we would look at watching some of the episodes, where there will be some episodes that will be very beautifully done. There will be so much detail, so much highlighting, a lot of good shading, and then there'll be some scenes after that, or maybe the next episode, where it just looks rushed. Like, just look like they just were like, okay, we have no time, let's just throw it out there as quick as possible. That also did not just happen in Sailor Moon Crystal, it also happened in the 90s. I remember that happening quite a bit, and I remember that mostly from Super S, which is the 4th season, the Dream arc, where the characters would look different. So with, I guess, the idea of with having a 2-part movie, they'll have a higher budget, which then they can spend a lot of time making sure that the characters are really detailed, that there won't be any mistakes, though I'm pretty sure you're gonna find just a tiny little mistake. I mean, there's people like me, myself, can sometimes will just find that, but they will make sure that it turns out good, because they are just making sure that it's gonna be well, clean, and beautiful. And with that, I think that's pretty much it for the discussion on the season. I do have quite a bit more thoughts and opinions or discussion on the season, but I'll be saving that for my video on my 2nd channel with Jason, because I know he has quite a bit of stuff he would like to discuss about it. And plus, I know some of you guys would like to hear his thoughts on it. I hope you guys also enjoyed this video. This is the first time I ever did a voiceover on a drawing video of mine, so I was quite a little nervous because usually working with someone else, it can be really easy, especially if you kind of lose track or if you don't know what to say, where this here, you can get a little side off track. So I was a little nervous, but it turned out really good and I really enjoyed it. Also, if you guys have your opinions and thoughts on what you think of the season, feel free to comment down below. I really would love to hear what you guys have to say. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree with what I say? Or is there more stuff that you would like to add on that I didn't mention in here? Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be uploading the same video hopefully later on, because some people may not want to hear the discussion, so I will shorten the video and I will not be commenting on it. So then for those who don't want to listen to this and they just want to watch the drawing process, I'll be doing that for you guys. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys with another video in the future. Bye, guys.